Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. In this lesson, we will complete our remaining portion of Unit 3 Oxford Progressive English Book 6. The title of the unit is School Days, and the pages we are going to cover are from page number 59 to page number 69. As we have already discussed what are fiction stories, just to remind you, fiction stories are the stories that are not real, that are imaginary. So we are going to read a story from a Pakistani writer, and her name is Beena Shah. Oh yes, I have got you the pictures of this gorgeous lady. The story we have to read is Crow's Snow. We all know that crow is a very strong bird. So this story is about a crow and a girl named Yasmin. The main character of the story is Yasmin, who is a small schoolgirl. To know what happened to Yasmin and the crow, you have to read the story, and to make it easy for you, I have given you word meanings. Let's discuss these words' meaning now. The first word is curiously. That means strangely. Next is timidly, hesitantly. Asserted. It means stating a fact, telling someone that is something that is true. Poked. Mostly use the phrase, don't poke your nose. So this poking means pointing or pushing with finger or foot. Gasped. This is a sound that we make when we are astonished or surprised. Knelt. It means bowing or bending down. Nudge. Pushing someone with elbow. We have also discussed this word in previous lecture. Clouded. In this story it means saddened. Regarding. Honoring someone, giving someone respect. Bitterly. Harshly. Hushed. Hushed means making someone silent. Mourning. Grief for death or loss of someone. Lump. It means swelling, but in this context it means a body or the dead body of the crow. Flesh. This meat. Comforted. It means deformed or the shape is spoiled or someone is distorted. Fuzz. The fur or soft hair on the animal's body. Lingering. It means unnecessary stay, that you stay at some place but that would be unnecessary. It is lingering. Pirouetted. Spinning on toes. Stalactite. Icicle shaped formation that hangs from the ceiling. To understand these words like pointing or poking or nudging, I have given you some pictures. What you have to do, identify the actions that are carrying out in pictures and then find the proper words for them from the word meaning section. Now let's discuss what happened in the story Crow's Snow. This story took place in a school where a dead crow fell in the school ground during recess time, that is break time. The students pushed the ugly crow with feet and found it dead. And then they said to each other that it is dead, and they left the crow there and went back to play. But a small girl whose name was Yasmin, she was a very sensitive and timid girl. She stopped with the crow for some time, and also she remembered the death of her grandmother. Then she was also afraid that if the students saw her standing by the dead ugly crow, they would mock her. So this story is a criticism on the society that we do not see the efforts of the people who are working hard for their living, but we go for the things that are pretentious, that are showy. We go for the beauty that is just in outer beauty, and we do not see into the hardships, or we do not appreciate the hard work of the people, other peoples who are working hard to make their living. So the next section is question answers of this story that are reading for details. I would highly appreciate if you read the story before coming to question answer section. Let's discuss question number 1 now. Question number 1 is, how did the children in the playground react to the dead crow? We have read the story, we have also discussed the story. So the children fell curiously silent for a moment at first, and then they ignored the dead crow and went back to play. So basically they behaved insensitively. Number 2 is, Yasmin spoke in a small voice. What does this tell you about her? In the reading section of the story, we have read that Yasmin spoke in a small voice, that she had seen 4 or 5 kites or big eagles. So speaking of her in a small voice tells us that she was frightened. Question number 3. How do you know the death of Yasmin's grandmother was an important event in her life? The question asks that how do we know that it was an important event for her? And we know that it was important for her because she remembered every single detail of that incident. She remembered her mom crying and moaning and other people's comforting her mother. Question 4 is, why did Yasmin not want other children to see that she was upset about the death of Crow? She was afraid because other children will mock her for mourning the ugly crow. So this means that those students also had bullied Yasmin before. Question 5. How does Yasmin stand out as different from other children? Because other children were carefree, as we have seen in the story, and Yasmin was very kind even towards a dead ugly crow. What you are going to do? Write these question answers on your notebook and also learn them. Our next section is a magazine article. On your books you can find that there is a magazine article, and the title of the article is My Favorite Teacher. This article is written by a famous artist. He remembers his school teacher, and we will read the passage first and we will find out the adjectives that what qualities of his teacher he remembers most. Let's start reading. Oh yes, I remember Mr. Wood. I remember him because he was kind and patient with me. The first qualities of Mr. Wood he remembers are kind and patient. So, qualities of a noun are called adjectives. So, kind and patient are adjectives. Then he says, I was rather slow at learning when I first went to school. I nearly always got my maths homework wrong, but Mr. Wood never punished me. One more quality of his teacher, that he never punished him. Instead, he used to explain patiently where I had gone wrong. The same quality, patient, now it is an adverb. Patiently, ly tells that it is an adverb. He never made me feel stupid in front of the rest of the class. When he realized that I was exceptionally good at drawing and painting, he praised me and made me forget about my failure with maths. He encouraged me to persevere my painting. Also, you can see that the words are highlighted in different colors. 2 words with the same color, like kind and patient in green color, and same never punished and explained patiently, never punished and made me feel stupid, both in the same color, and patiently he praised me, made me forget about my failure, encouraged me to persevere with my painting. These all have the same color. So these qualities are identical. So in the next section, we are given identify character qualities. These highlighting of words in red, green and other colors will help you in solving this exercise. So here you go. Before looking at the answers, you need to do this on your books by yourself. Try to do it. After doing the exercise on your books, come back to the video and see that I have solved it for you. Identify character qualities. What was the teacher like? Option A, he was kind to his pupil, and B, he was patient with him. So on your book you are given B, an empty space that you have to fill it with your answer. So he was patient with him. What did he do? He praised his pupil. He encouraged him to persevere his dream. He made him forget about his failure. Number 3, what did he not do? He did not make his pupil feel stupid. Then he never punished him. So these are character qualities. Fill this exercise on your books. Okay, we are moving to our next lesson, next section, that is the laughter portion. This is a very interesting story. I would say that you will enjoy it when you will read it. Let's discuss its words meaning. The first word is cauldron, and you can also see on the left side that there is a big pot that is filled with some green fluid. The green fluid in it is called potion, and the pot is called cauldron. That's the vessel. Then spell. Spell mean trick or magic. Vaguely, unsurely, vaguely, unclearly. Grabbed, taking something or catching something in hand. Horrid, ghastly. Horrid means horrible. Rapping, it's knocking on the desk that you also do in your classrooms. Sneak. Sneak is to get a look at something secretly. Banged, this clanging or rattling, this is a sound. Hysterical, that is crazy or mad. So look at the pictures. One is of cauldron, other is a potion, and the other is also a potion, that is laughter potion. Do the reading, take your time. Okay, now let's discuss reading for understanding, that are question answers for this story. You are given questions at first. Question number 1 is, describe the way in which Miss Hardbroom speaks to her pupils. These questions are also very easy. You can do them yourself. First try doing them yourself, then come to the video and look at their answers and match these answers with the answers you are given on your notebook. That would be your rough work. So question number 1 is, describe the way in which Miss Hardbroom speaks to her pupils. And its answer is, if you have read the story, you may know that the words snapped and barked are used for Miss Hardbroom. Miss Hardbroom barked, Miss Hardbroom snapped. So these words suggest that she speaks very harsh. Question number 2. Mildred and Maud were good friends. How good were they as pupils? So if you have read the story, you may know that they were careless. They were very careless pupils. Question number 3. Read the paragraph number 3 and tell us how well did the girls do with their potion making. They made the right potion at first, but in their confusion, they put the wrong ingredient. So their potion was not made correctly, their spell was incorrect. Question number 4 is, read the paragraph number 4 and tell us what made Mildred think that they had made the wrong potion. After looking at the potion of one of their class fellow, who was Ethel, they realized that they had made the wrong potion. Question number 5 is, why did Miss Hardbroom tell the girls to drink just a little of the potion? as she had to assess the girls by letting them drink the potion. And if you drink the laughter potion, you start laughing, and that is crazy laughing if you drink a lot of potion. So Miss Harbroom didn't want them to go crazy. That's why she said that drink a very little of your potion. So how Miss Harbroom assessed the success of her pupils in making the potion? How could she know that if the potion was correct or incorrect or right or not right? Yes, if it was laughter potion, they would go laughing. They would start laughing. So by their laughter, she is going to know that if the potion was right or not. Read the paragraph number 6. Mildred started to say, I think. And then why didn't she finish her sentence? Because they both were disappeared in punishment for making wrong spell. And how do you know that they both were disappeared? The repetition of the words appear, disappear, reappear throughout the story. At the end of the story tells us that they both were disappeared. Our next section is saying words. We will discuss what are saying words and we will see some of the examples. Saying words are the words that are used to explain how someone speaks. For example, Miss Harbroom barked. Barking is the sound that dogs usually make. To bark is a verb that describes the voice that dog makes, but when human being barks, it means that is a bad tempered shout. When you shout badly at someone, this means you are barking. Okay, to command. Commanding means a type of voice, a type of sound that you use to order someone, like go and fetch. That is a command. To snap, it means to make a short, sharp, bad-tempered command or reply. Like you slap on someone's face, that is a slap. That is a short but very quick action. This is snap. That is short but very quick sound, bad-tempered sound. That is why it's called snap. So these words, to snap, to command, to bark, also asked, yelled, cried, these words are called the saying words. Our next topic is adverb. What is an adverb? Adverb is a word that tells us how, when, where an action took place. It tells us that the frequency of the action, how many times the action took place, the manner, what was the manner or style of the action were taking place, or where the action took place. The answer to these all questions, when the action took place. For example, we say the cat drowned in the water. So the question is where the cat drowned. The answer is in the water. So in the water is adverb. Or when the cat drowned at midnight. So these words that tell us that how, where, when, how often an action took place, that are called adverbs. Let us see some adverbs. Adverb describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. It tells when, where, how, and how often. So the words that tell that when an action took place, that are after, before, nearly, now, since, soon, today, tomorrow, yesterday. that words that show where action took place, that are above, below, everywhere, far, here, inside, near, outside, there, and that tell us how an action took place: calmly, beautifully, excitedly, happily, joyfully, knowingly, sadly, sloppily, stiffly. For example, he sat calmly, he wrote beautifully, he sings beautifully. So this is adverb. He sings. Sings is verb. And how he sings? Beautifully. Beautifully tells us more about the verb, that is adverb. How often? He goes to school. Always. He goes to school daily, frequently, never, once, rarely, seldom, sometimes, or usually. So these are the adverbs. These are some examples of adverbs. There are many more adverbs out there. Adverbs are also called qualifier because they tell the qualities of a verb. They qualify a verb. For example, Mildred threw the pond weed quickly. Find the verb first and then we will find the adverb. Mildred threw the pond weed. Threw is the action. She threw. She put it in the cauldron. So this threw is verb, and the word that qualifies a verb. How did she threw it? She threw it quickly. This is quickly is adverb, and adverb usually ends at ly. We are given some adjectives you can see in your books. Adjectives are patient, slow, bad, sad, or wise. We have to add ly to all of them to make them adverb. For example, if we add ly to patient, that would be patiently. So patiently is an adverb. We are going to make first adverb for all these 5 words. Patient would be patiently, slow would be slowly, bad would be badly, and likewise the rest of the words. And then we are going to make sentences for them. Like I have made sentence for patiently. They waited patiently for the bus. So you are going to make these adjectives. You are going to change these adjectives into adverbs by adding ly to them, and then you are going to make sentences for them and write these sentences in your notebook. Our next topic is prefix. We have also read what is a prefix. Just to remind you or recall what is a prefix. A prefix is a word that we add to the base word and it makes a new word. It changes the meaning of the base word. Mostly it means opposite of the base word. For example, happy is the base word or the root word or the basic word, happy. We will add prefix to happy. The prefix we will add will be is un. So it will be unhappy. The meanings are changed. Unhappy means opposite of happy. So the next prefix is re. Re means to do again, replay, rewrite, reuse. So this prefix means to do again. So we have the word write and we add the prefix re. The word would be rewrite, and the meaning of write and rewrite are different. So prefix basically changes the meaning of the word. This means opposite or opposite of the word. For example, agree is the word. Agree means to agree to something, and we add the prefix dis and it would be disagree, not being agree to something. So this also means opposite. Un means opposite. This means opposite, and im also means opposite. Polite, impolite. Polite and impolite are opposite to each other, like happy and unhappy. Then the next prefix is miss. Miss means wrongly or badly. For example, misbehave, mismanage. So our main focus of today's lesson prefixes is three prefixes that are un, dis and re. Un mean opposite, dis mean opposite, and re mean to do again. So we are given the words or definitions, and we have to make words for them by adding the prefix. For example, do again, doing again. For doing again we use re, so it would be redo. Not sure, and we have the option un, dis, re, meaning sure and not sure. We will say unsure, write again, rewrite, cut off the connection, disconnect. Not wanted, unwanted, prevent infection, disinfected, play another time. So doing something again, playing another time, playing again, it would be replay. Not sympathetic, opposite of sympathetic. Deliver again, not believe. So you are going to complete these prefixes, and you are going to make sentences for these words. For example, you have to make sentence for redo, unsure, rewrite, disconnect, unwanted, disinfected, and also there are other 4 words that you are going to do yourself. I have made some of sentences for you. Look at them. The sentence for redo: you have to redo your work. Unsure: he is unsure of his success. Rewrite: rewrite the work neatly, and in the same way you are going to make the rest of the sentences. Our next exercise is exercise at page number 12, and the topic is participles. So what are participles basically? Participle, there are 2 participles. One is present participle and other is past participle. But in this lesson we will discuss what is present participle. So present participle is a word that shapes like verb plus ing. When we add ing to the first form of verb, it goes present participle. For example, swing. Swing is taking a swing, and we add ing to swing, it goes swinging. Swinging is present participle verb. That is a kind of verb, present participle. Laugh plus ing, laughing, that is present participle verb. Traveling, present participle verb. So let us look at their examples. What is function of participle? A participle can be used as a verb. A participle can also be used as an adjective and also as a noun. We will see first some examples of them. How participle behaves as a verb. He is always laughing. Laugh plus ing, laughing. First form of verb plus ing is present participle. So in this sentence, he is always laughing. Laughing, this participle is a verb. So participle behaves as a verb in the sentence. Number 2, the swinging lamp cast a bright light. Swinging lamp. Swinging comes before a noun, lamp. So swinging is the adjective. It tells us the quality of lamp, that lamp is swinging. So the swinging is adjective here. It comes before the noun, like adjectives usually comes before the noun that it describes. The next example is eating is a pleasure. So eating is an activity. Eating is the name of activity here. So it is a noun here. So participle behaves as a noun in this example. Read the more examples in your book at page number 12 and also learn them. That was all from today's lesson. If you didn't understand anything, please listen to the video again. And if there's still any problem, do not hesitate to contact. Take a very good care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.